So just the last one is we're on the shooting team, they're going to be kind of check prior to entering. Prior to entering. So just an update from the coach time allowed to this competition. The length of the track is 450 meters. The speed of 3 minute. 455 is 350 yeah, around 6.0 time. So we are just 10 minutes away from the beginning of the three dots in the World Seas Cup for 2023. 7 teams to compete in this competition. Teams from France, Belgium, Sweden, Netherlands, Ireland, Lithuania, and Germany. 4 riders from each team, best 3 sports to count from all the respective rounds. The Junior Nations Cup finals to be held here at Centre Park in September. "78 seconds of time allowed on this by Raf Suarez and so fences at 1 to 12. 78 seconds allowed.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Centaur Park, to this Youth Nations Cup series. This week, we're bringing you the children's, the ponies, the juniors, and the young riders. And this is what the schedule is looking like for today. We're just waiting for the start of the first round of the Children's Nations Cup at the moment, presented by Dodson. And we have 7 teams coming forward in this competition, representing France, Belgium, Sweden, the Netherlands, Ireland, Lithuania, and finally Germany. We'll bring you this competition, then we'll have a short break while we have some individual competitors tackling this course in between the 2 rounds. Then we'll be back with the second round at about 3:45 local time, so 2:45 if you are watching in the UK. We will then move on to the Young Rider Nations Cup. That will be fielded by 5 teams and kicks off at 5:15 local time, so 4:15 if you're watching in the UK. And the 5 teams in the Young Rider category will be for France, for Belgium, the Netherlands, Switzerland and Germany. Once again, we'll have some individual competitors around that course, and then we'll bring you the second round. Tomorrow we will have the junior and the pony categories for our Nations Cup competitions. 6 teams in the ponies and 8 in the juniors. Course has been set here by Rafael Suarez and his team, who also include Marco de Jong, Michael Parker and Georgiev of Bulgaria. Fences are 1.25 in height. As ever with these Nations Cup competitions, we will see 1 rider per team start. So we have all of the first riders, and then all of the second riders, and all the third riders, and so on. Hotly contested competition. This was a fantastic running last year, and this is one of the early legs of this fantastic Youth Nations Cup series that takes place all across the spring and summer months. So, our first rider is in the ring. Riding for France, team headed up by Olivier Bost. This is Louise Anquetin with Uccello de Hus. Louise has competed this horse in a number of the Children's Nations Cup legs last year, and in fact jumped a great double clear here with this very horse last year. She's been competing in some one-star competitions as well in Belgium and in France in recent months. She also travelled to the Children's European Championships in July of last year and was on the 3rd place team. "12 obstacles here. She's coming now to the last. Beautifully ridden, as we've come to expect from this young lady. Sees a long one to the last, but stops the clock in 77.02 seconds. And it's a fantastic start for France, a fantastic start for the very talented Louise Anquetin. Brilliant way to kick things off in this competition. Next up then we will have Belgium. Belgium's first rider will be Clémentine Lux, who rides the horse Cache de l'Écuyer. This is a 9-year-old stallion by Cassandra C. Clémentine has a number of good horses in her string. This horse is one that she took on from Francois Lejeune. And she jumped here just last week as well, having a good 2nd place in the Grand Prix. Well, it is quite windy at Centaur Park this afternoon, and unfortunately, as you can see, we have had a fence blow down. So it looks like Clémentine Lux is just waiting for that to be righted. Time has, of course, stopped. And we'll just wait for her to be able to restart this round. Here we go then, Clementine Lux. Once again with Cache de l'Écuyer. She's got a good pace up here throughout this course, as you can see when you compare her time to that of Louise Anquetin. 68.02 then on the clock. Good time for Clementine Lux. I'll just wait for final confirmation of that time allowed for you as well.
Underway. Right over Max Lord. Max Lord, just a 7-year-old, going by my lord. Max Lord.
Time allowed is at 78 seconds. So it is a clear for France and now a clear for Belgium as we move on to our third team, which is Sweden. Their first rider in will be Vilma Linnell, who rides Maxi Lord. This horse is an 8-year-old this year and is by My Lord Carthago. This was Wilma's horse for the Nations Cup final last year. Well, she rode at the show. Had some very good placings in the speed classes and in the 2 phase there. Also competed in some children's classes in Drammen last year with this horse. Jumped, in fact, in that Nations Cup final with Low Hill I Know Dat. Just working on the 4, coming down to the last. The time is good again. And again, a really nice start. Once again, for the Swedish team here today, Vilma Linnell just picks up the 4 penalties. But remember, we have 1 drop score here as well. So that could well be the drop score. We will wait to see. Onwards then, swiftly to the Netherlands, to Bethany Vos. Bethany rides Don Diablo, a Dutch-bred gelding by Vajant out of a Berggraf mare. Bethany last year competed in the Pony European Championships with Still Got Me. She was on the bronze medal winning team. Don Diablo, though, is the horse that she's been campaigning in some 1-star competitions most recently. This horse was ridden by India's Abbas Khan in 2022, and prior to that by Henk van der Pol of the Netherlands and Tom van Dijk of the Netherlands as well. Bethany's finished in the top 10 6 times so far with this horse. And comes here on a run of 5 clear rounds in her FEI competitions. Certainly a great person to have on your team. Again, a good pace up here. This horse jumped up to 5-star level with Henk van der Pol. Nicely done then for Don Diablo and Bethany Voss. Gives us another clear round. So now we have 3 teams on a clean sheet so far. France, Belgium and the Netherlands. Just the 4 for Sweden's first rider, Vilma Linnell. And we have 3 teams still to start. Onwards to Ireland. Team spearheaded by James Kernan. And their first rider out is Alice Maloney. Alice rides this 11-year-old mare Cosima. Horse that came from Cohen Williams a little while ago, who also jumped this horse in the Children's Nations Cup categories. Last year here at Centaur Park, Alice jumped this horse in the Nations Cup, just had 1 down and then a few down in the second round, but certainly a combination that had been going from strength to strength. They had a good 3rd place in a speed class in Kronenberg at the Nations Cup final last year. Well, just the one penalty, one fence to add for Alice Maloney, 4 penalties for her. But it's a great start once again here for the Irish team. We've seen some beautiful rounds already, just 2 4-faulting rounds and 3 clears on the board as it stands. On then to Lithuania, a nation who are really coming up in the world of international show jumping and indeed in dressage. Their first rider is Sola Josita, who rides Givenchy WV. Sola rode in the Children's Grand Prix here last week and placed 18th. But Sola has only been competing this horse since internationally in 2023. The horse was previously with Vadili Dubikaita of Lithuania. Just working on the 4 as she comes now back across the middle of the arena here. It's a little deep. Good through the double. And lovely to the last as well, just inside the time allowed for Sola Josita of Lithuania with Givenchy WV. So just keeps on the 4. 3 teams on a 4 and 3 on a clear so far. And I'll keep you up to date with those scores as they're coming in, just so that you've got a clear view of how these are going in relation to the other teams. Of course, it's difficult to see at this stage where they're sitting because we really do need to see a few teams go before we can see the lie of the land. But Germany then, this is our final team. It's the turn of Maximilian Fimpel with Cartagena. Maximilian competed in Dielsdorf Zurich in Switzerland in the Nations Cup competitions last year. That, though, was with the horse Pivot de Coeur. Cartagena is one that Maximilian has been competing internationally since mid-2022. And they've had 4 top 10 finishes and have only dropped a pole in 2 rounds jumped in international competition out of 11 jumped. So very, very consistent pair. Great trailblazer for the German team, just coming now to the last. Nicely done. Just gets a little bit of a shift on towards the final line just to be sure of that time, and smartly done there. It is indeed a clear to kick things off for Germany. Back then to France, to the first team in. We're now onto the second riders. This is Lou-Anne Pustelnik with Elu de l'Abbaye, who has Mylord Carthago breeding on the dam side. This one is an 8-year-old, excuse me, a 9-year-old gelding. She's competed this horse in some of the amateur classes in 2021, then moved on to the children's categories, and in February of this year jumped in some 1-star classes in Royan in France. Just a fraction over the time allowed then. Remember, they're picking up 1 time penalty for every second started over the time allowed. So with that 78.16 seconds, Lou-Anne Pustelnik will pick up 5. So 4 for jumping and 1 for time gives a total of 5. So as it stands, that would be the drop score for France, but we do have a bit of a way to go yet. Back with Belgium then to Ella Bomeret. Ella rides Primavera van de Dennehoven. Horse is just 8 years old and is by Fantomas de Meuse out of a Darko mare. Ella competed this horse in Lier and in Villers-Vicomte earlier on this year, and then that's their only 2 competitions of the year so far together. The horse was competed by Bart Bomeret in Ghent earlier on. They've been jumping up to 1 meter 30 and 1 meter 40, so this height of fences shouldn't be a problem. We've just had one clipped. And the last sadly goes as well for Ella Bomere. So it's going to be 8 for the second rider out for Team Belgium.
Sweden's turned out. Sweden with Vivian Tolik, Hero. Already got a rider on 4 points to take for Sweden, but it's Vivian's turn now, the 11-year-old Gallic. Vivian Tolik, Sweden.
Back to Sweden now, to Fabian Tolik with Vero. Horse owned by Anna Nordenfelt. And this looks to be this combination's first international competition together. Just now on the 1. Plenty of scope though. Nicely done down to the last as well. It's a very good time, 72.09. Have a couple of quite quick times from the Swedish team, just the 1 pole down. Now that means that with 2 riders having had a pole down each in the Swedish team, they will finish round 1 on at least 4, even if they drop a higher score, or even if their last 2 riders both jump clear, they have to carry 4 now. For the Netherlands then, it's the turn of Stella Hilligers with Go Go. We hope they will go. This horse is a 12-year-old mare, Dutch bred by Carnute. Oof, very deep in there. Go Go was just having a very good look into the bottom of that fence. But that certainly didn't cause them too much of a problem. This is a horse that was ridden by Ines van den Bosch of Belgium prior to Stella taking on the reins. And she does so extremely well. She just squeaks inside the time allowed as well. So the Netherlands are looking like a very strong team indeed now, with their 2 clear rounds already.
So far, as we go to Ireland, first rider had 4 faults. Turn out of it. It's 10-year-old Bear, lined it up.
Ted Fagan now with Bella M comes forward for Ireland. This is a 10-year-old mare, Irish sports horse, led by Louis Dam. Oh dear, well that is a shame, coming a little apart in the triple combination there. Good to see both horse and rider safely up and on their feet. Bella M just taking a little trip around the arena there. But that's a pity because that was a round that was going really nicely. So sadly it will be elimination for Ted Fagan. So since Team Ireland now have that elimination, the next two scores will have to count because that's the score that they will discount. But we keep our fingers crossed that their third and fourth riders will jump good rounds for them. So back to Lithuania then. Our first rider is Leja Nakvozaita, who's just getting quite some pace up and had a refusal at fence 1, but on the second time of asking, they're over that quite safely. Big shot to fence 2. The horse here is Kyra's Conamore. This horse is just 7 years old. Just takes the A and B and now the C elements from the triple combination. It's a little bit of a meandering line down to fence 6, but it's quite a young horse, really. They actually won the Children's Grand Prix here just a few days ago with a great double clear. And they also competed together at the Children's European Championship, so certainly a combination with plenty of potential. And sadly just not quite going their way today. So Leja Nakvosaita is opting to retire, which means that Lithuania now need their third and fourth riders to post some good scores, but they have 2 very experienced riders still to come. Those are Trojas Rimkevicius and Laura Bagita. If you were keeping up to date with this series in 2022, I'm sure you'll recognise those names. Back to Germany then. Their second rider is Charlotte Birken. Charlotte rides Kaisha. She competed this horse here at in the Netherlands, in Kronenberg at the back end of last year in some 1-star classes. The horse was ridden previously by Paula Pahl of Germany in the children's and then subsequently the junior categories. It was with Vivian Blandfort of Germany before that as well. 15-year-old mare. Very experienced horse to be partnering. Coming to the last and a good race to the finish, and she looks absolutely over the moon with that. And well, she should. Charlotte Birken gets the clear for Germany, so we have 2 teams on a double clear, 2 clear rounds. They are the Netherlands and Germany. back to our first team then, to Luis Luan-Jacques, who rides Silver des Peurs. One of the older horses in the field here. This one is 17. Once again, another combination who travelled to Kronenberg in September of last year, jumped in the Grand Prix, the Children's Grand Prix there for 21st place. But it's a great, great performance for Luis Luan-Jacques of France. Gets the clears, so France have 2 clears on the board now as well.
So that's 2 clears. Origin and France and Vinny are still in the chance of finishing on a good score. That's the end of France. Belgium now, they're trying to go west and Valerian and Lyon. It's 14-year-old Michael is doing up. Belgium team with 1 clear and 1.
Going back then to Team Belgium. The next rider in is Chloé Hostel with Valerian de Moyon. This horse is a 14-year-old mare by Calypso de Moyon. Team Belgium have 1 clear and 1 8 faulting round. So we're looking for another strong performance here from Chloé. Lovely jumping so far. One left to go to post a good round for Team Belgium. Yes, she's done it. Chloé Hostel gets the clear for Team Belgium. 2 clears and an 8 now for them. So the 8 will be their discounted score as it stands. But we just have their final rider to come to confirm that. Their final rider will be Estelle van Tricht. We start to see how things are going as we move on through the second and third riders, certainly. Back to Sweden now then, to Viggo Berstrand with Bugatti de Rouet. This is a gelding by Balou de Rouet. Good down that line. We're just working on the 4 for now. Viggo has been successful in the pony category. Although, of course, with Bugatti up to the children's level. They were 9th in the Children's Grand Prix here last week. Had some good results last year as well, around Denmark and Germany. Sees a long one to the last, but the time's good as well. It'll be 8 for Viggo Bergstrand and Bugatti Dirouet for Sweden. That means that should that be the drop score for Sweden, their minimum score will be 8. Back to the Netherlands then, to Joël Muguez. Joël rides Cobalt Express WS, who is by Global Express VDL, out of an Indoctro mare. Quite speedily around the early parts of the course here for this combination. One left to go for Joël. Beautifully judged. What a fantastic, fantastic round for Joël Muguez and Cobalt Express WS. And it's been quite the masterclass from Team Netherlands so far. And they are well deserving of that triple clear round. So, with 3 clears on the board for the Dutch team, that means that regardless of what their final rider does, they will finish on a 0 score. What a great place to be. Back to Ireland now, to Ruby Lily Gaines. She rides Castle Lux Clover. Fairly new to international competition. Unfortunately, Castle Lux Clover is not liking the look of the tractors either side of this fence. That's unfortunate. Remember, this is a score that has to count for Team Ireland. Does very well to get over that. Good positive riding. The horse is just standing off some of these fences a little bit now, but Ruby's doing a brilliant job of riding really positively to make sure that isn't a problem. It's a real pity. There's a lot to like about this round. Sadly, there will be some time penalties to pick up. There'll be a total of 24 for Ruby, Lily Gaines and Castle Lux Clover. The third rider out for Team Ireland. It will be a counting score, and so you see there the cumulative score of 28 incorporates the 4 and the 24 there. We'll just get this picture back for you as soon as we can. The next rider due into the ring is for Lithuania. It is Trojas Rimkevičius and Stakalina. Get an important round as Lithuania have one rider who retires Trojan, an experienced rider as well. So apologies everybody, we'll get this picture back for you in just a couple of moments' time.
Yeah, zero score. Maximilian, last to go.
Well, the score for Trojas Rimkevicius then was 8 inside the time allowed, and so gives Team Lithuania a total of 12. Just rejoining here, we are on to Team Germany. Team Germany with their third rider, Maximilian Pierzina, with B Arcadia. Sadly, we have a refusal there for Maximilian. Penultimate fence drops for Maximilian. And of course, with the refusal, that's going to incur a little bit of time as well. It'll be 14 in total for Germany's third rider. But with 2 clears, that could well end up being a drop score.
So at the end of the third practice, it's all teams not exactly what, but a few teams still able to show it, including the French team who get us underway there. Secure that clear. They actually got to.
Back to our first team now then. We're on to the final riders in this first round. This is Zoe Vagion-Ledy, who rides Arcana Messepierre. This is a horse that was previously ridden by Nicolas Bost back in 2018. It was one that Zoe's been piloting since 2022. Last week they placed second in a children's jump-off competition, third in a two-phase, and second in the Grand Prix. So 3 podium finishes for this combination. What a fantastic pair to have on a team, and they've certainly got the pace up here. You can see why they perform particularly well, or well enough to get the good marks in the jump-offs there. Finishes on the 4 then, Zoe Vaguion-Ledy. So, I can now bring you the finalised score for round 1 for Team France. They will finish on a score of 4. They'll discount the 5 and they'll count the 2 clears and the 4 to finish on 4. Back to Belgium. Belgium are in a good position as well. This is Estelle van Tricht. Estelle rides Seacoast, Don't Touch, TG Hero. This horse is by Diamant de Semy. It's a stallion and is owned by the Seacoast horses, Houdron Petit, who of course is a very talented top-level rider. Up to the 5-star competitions. Comes home then, Estelle van Tricht with Seacoast, Don't Touch, TG Hero. Comes home with the clear, fantastically done. So as you see there in the corner of your screen, that means we'll discount the score of 8. Belgium finish on a clean sheet as well. Nothing to add from round 1, which is just so impressive. Only 2 more teams could emulate that. Sadly, Sweden is not one of them, but they could still put themselves in a good position, and there are 2 rounds, so there's still everything to play for. It's the turn of Matilda Hansen with Javenia. Javenia is a 14-year-old mare by Non-Stop. Just picks up the 4 for now. Oh, what a pity. The last goes as well for Matilda Hansen. She picks up 8. We discount one of the scores of 8 for Sweden. We count the 4, and the 8, which gives us 16 in total. So Sweden are going to be a little bit on the back foot when it comes to the second round. But all is not lost. And as we know in these Nations Cup competitions, things can change very quickly. Our final rider for the Netherlands is Nick Steegs with Al Capone. Now, Nick can really relax here. I'm sure that he will still want to jump a good clear round with this 18-year-old stallion. However, his teammates have all jumped clear rounds already, so regardless of what Nick does, the Dutch team will finish on a 0 score. Got a good pace up here as well. Certainly would be a rider you might put your money on in a jump off. Oh, he's had a pole. And another, but no matter. Final three fences unusually come down for Nick Steegs. Finishes on the 12. That's going to be the drop score. Netherlands as a team will finish on 0. Back with Ireland now. Ireland are in a little bit of a tricky position, but we're hoping that Cian McMahon with limited edition will be able to keep them in the race. They have a 4, a 24 and an elimination. So this is a score that has to count. It's a great clear, the only clear for Ireland. Cian McMahon shows us how it's done. That's just what Ireland needed. They will discount the elimination. They'll count the clear, the 4, the 24, and they'll carry forward 28 into round 2. Just 2 teams left to complete in round 1. Laura Bergita then is the next rider in. She's the final rider for Lithuania. And she is quite the up-and-coming star as she rides Need for Speed. She was on the children's team with this horse at the European Championships last year. She was also a firm fixture on the Nations Cup circuit as well. And some really great rounds for the Lithuanian team. We've got a couple down here in the triple combination. It's a difficult line going from the triple down then to that oxer at fence 6. Sails the last then. Unfortunately, it's going to be 4 down for Laura Bergita and Need for Speed. But as ever, is all to play for in round 2 as well. They will discount the retired score of the second rider. They count the 4, the 8, they count the 16, and that gives them a total of 28. Which is the same score as Team Ireland. So Ireland and Lithuania on exactly the same score. Sweden on 16, France on 4, Belgium and the Netherlands are both on a clean sheet. As we head in now with our final rider, in round one. This is Jessica Whitkop for Germany with Kalia S, a 15-year-old mare by Cheval de Blanc, rather aptly named considering the colour of this offspring as well. This is a fairly new ride, or certainly a new ride in international competition for Jessica. She has another couple of horses, K Rado and Nilsson 10, who she campaigns in the children's classes as well. Sees a bit of a long one to the fence with the water jump underneath, the water tray underneath. This horse came from Antonia Hossler of Germany, who jumped in the Nations Cups with this horse last year. Just going to be one down then, and a great time for Jessica Whitkop and Kalia S. So, Germany will count 2 clear rounds and a 4. They'll discount the 14. They will finish round 1 on a score of 4. They are tied with France. The Netherlands and Belgium are out in front on their clean sheets. Sweden follow on 16, and then rounding it out at the moment we have Ireland and Lithuania, who both are on 28 penalties. It's looking like it'll be all to play for in round 2 for France, the Netherlands, Belgium and Germany. They're the ones with close scores, and then it'll be a little bit of a battle for the placings for Sweden, Ireland and Lithuania. Well, the lie of the land is that now we have the children's individual competition. There are 17 competitors coming forward in this individual competition. It'll be taking place around this very same course. The Nations Cup riders have a bit of a break, and we'll come back with round 2 of this Children's Nations Cup, presented by Dodson and Horrell at 3:45 local time. That's 2:45 if you're watching in the UK. So do stay with us, about 40 minutes until round 2.